Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing my top 10 favorite books of 2016, and yes, it is 2017, March no less, but I mean there's always going to be, excuse you, there's always going to be one person late to the party, and it's me. Thank you for that sound effect. Alright, so I'm going to get into the actual books now. Here we go. Alright, so number 1 is Ask the Passengers by A.S. King? Yeah, it's A.S. King. Such a royal name, such a strong name. I dig it. So this book was actually the first book I ever read in 2016, and it was the best way to start off the year, let me tell you. It is such a great piece of literature, and I thank Ariel Bissett for getting me onto A.S. King, because A.S. King, what a queen. Which is ironic because her last name's King. Irony. Love it. Book number 2 is Brandon Sanderson's Hero of Ages. This is the third and final book in the Mistborn trilogy, and it was epic. So this series follows the premise that the Dark Lord, which usually never rises to power, actually does, and is ruling the world. And you've got this group of people, kind of misfits, and they band together and they resist. And this is the, like I said, the final book, and it's my favorite out of all of them, I think. It's just so very complex and magical. My third book is The Girl M60 by A.R. Tor. I think that's how you say her name. It is a very dark, compelling, erotic, and violent novel. I absolutely just devoured it. I loved it. So refreshing and so different. I don't think refreshing is the right word, but it was just very unique, and I'd never come across anything like it before. So that's the reason why I found myself really liking it. Despite the terrible subject matter. So if you're okay with R-rated scenes and explicit material, I think this is a book that will really work for you. Number 4 is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. This book, it had me in tears. It was just a water fountain coming out of my face. It was not a pretty sight, but I absolutely love this book. Despite me breaking down in tears, it is also hilarious. Like, died of laughter. It was a great time, and also the worst of times. What's that saying? It was the best of times and the worst of times? Is that the saying? Because that's how I felt when I was reading this book. And my 5th book was, once again, a Jojo Moyes book, and it was 1+1. Jojo Moyes just became one of my favorite authors throughout 2016. It was a great time for me. A great time. So when I read the premise of this book, I initially was very taken aback. Like, I didn't think that I would like it, but I had faith in Jojo Moyes, and she delivered. She delivered, my friends. Delivered, because every aspect of this book I loved. My 6th favorite book is Maggie Stiefvater's Raven King. So this is the 4th and final concluding book of the Raven Cycle Quartet series, and I think it was my favorite. It has to be my favorite. There's a lot of payoff in this book, and I thought it was just very well done. And I mean, if you're a fan of Maggie Stiefvater's writing, you know that it is very quirky, very humorous, and packs a powerful punch with the emotions. That's why it earned a spot on this list. Beautiful. Number 7 is Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff's Illuminae. This is the first book in the Illuminae files, and I completely adored it. I'm trying to get my brothers to read it, but they're being stubborn and not reading it, but I keep on throwing it at their face. Not at their face, like at their feet. But anyway, so that's how much I love this book. enough to seriously do bodily harm to people. That's how dedicated I am to get people to read this book. So besides that, this is just a fantastic book. I don't even know if you could call it a book. It's just this compilation of like different formats of telling a story, which I completely got on board with. Pun intended. But yeah, I've never read anything like it, and I highly recommend it if you're looking for something that will get you out of a book slump. This will do it, my friends. This will do it. Number 8 is Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Mist and Fury. I don't know what I can say about this book that hasn't already been said. It's just a masterpiece. The ending physically drained me and emotionally drained me and just spiritually drained me. It was an exhausting but exhilarating time, and I enjoyed every moment of it. And my 9th book is once again Sarah J. Maas's Empire of Storms, which is a part of her Throne of Glass series. And I loved this book. I say loved very hesitantly because I did have a few issues with it, but not enough to deny my intense like of it. It's just so entertaining, and I am just all for the characters, and the plot line is getting intense. So yeah. Alright, so it looks like I didn't actually have 10 books on this list, only 9, but I'll deal with that. But hopefully you enjoy this list, and I will see you guys another time. But this book follows a protagonist, obviously,